What's going on, guys? Mr. Bropo here, bringing you another action figure review, and this time it's going to be on the Neca Crash Bandicoot action figure. Man, this is a figure that I've anticipated for a very long time. This is another one of those figures that I really wanted Neca to somehow do, if they could somehow get the rights to do it, and I thought it would be just great. And I'm so happy they were able to do it. This has been teased as far back as 2016, because Randy Falk, one of the head director sort of guys at Neca, he was in an interview and he mentioned the fact that he would love to do a Crash Bandicoot figure because they had just recently renewed sort of a deal with PlayStation to use their IPs like Uncharted, God of War, and Little Big Planet. And this was sort of included in there, technically speaking, but it hadn't been revealed that they were going to do the Crash Insane trilogy. And then the following year, they came out with that, and that's been a major success. And it's sort of basically revived Crash Bandicoot as a franchise. And so now Neca has had the ability an opportunity to make a Crash Bandicoot action figure. This is the first one that they've made. This is just standard Crash. We are going to get more Crash Bandicoots in different variations, with like a jetpack, a hoverboard, scuba gear, all that stuff. But this is the original sculpt for Crash. So let's just hop right into the review. So for size comparisons, we'll go ahead and bring in the first figure, this one being another Neca release, and something I just recently reviewed on my channel, the Ultimate It 2017 Pennywise figure, Bill Skarsgård's rendition. And as you can see, Pennywise is pretty damn tall, especially compared to Crash. He almost towers over him. Which makes sense because Crash is a more cartoony character and he's supposed to be pretty short compared to more humanoid figures. And, Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise is supposed to be taller and lankier anyways, so it makes sense that this is about the same, this is the height difference. So that's pretty cool. I just wanted to give you a size comparison there with another Neca release. And speaking of other Neca releases, these being more closely related, we have Nathan Drake here, who's another famous PlayStation IP, and they're both Naughty Dog originals. And we also have another Neca release, another PlayStation IP, and we have Kratos from the newest God of War. So having these three guys together is really cool. Each one of them, being a really popular franchise for PlayStation, and just having all three of them together is really, really cool in my opinion. Really dope stuff. Just some of the most iconic PlayStation franchises in history, so really cool stuff. Just for some more random comparisons, we have Mario from the World of Nintendo series made by Jakks Pacific, and the Marvel Legends Warlock Build-A-Figure Wave Cyclops. And just to give you a size comparison between another video game figure, character, figure, whatever, and just a more standard 6-inch scale release. That, sucks that Mario is not really in scale with him. These are more of a 4-inch scale sort of figure line anyway. It would have been cool, but I understand why. These are 4 inches. The, NECA's, figures are generally in the 7-inch scale. Crash, you're not going to make him 7 inches, but, he's about 5 or so inches, maybe 5.5 inches. So it makes sense that they scale up like this. And I don't know, these guys kind of look cool together. I don't know how often they would cross over, but it makes sense in a way. I think Crash, generally speaking, will probably be shorter, but that's why he's made by Neca, because Neca's scale is different than the 6-inch scale. Just wanted to give you a general comparison of what he would size up to with more standard 6-inch scale releases. Now let's take a look at the paint sculpt. So we have a lot of really cool stuff going on here. Let's see, go ahead and get a better look at Crash here. So all the fur, the fur is sculpted, so it gives it a really almost hyper-realistic look for Crash. He's usually a lot more cartoony, but then again, he looks really, his fur looks really realistic in the game, and it looks really realistic in the figure. Really nice, color variations. You got a really nice vibrant yellow for the stomach area. And you got the darker orange here. Got the darker orange on the shoulders, and it sort of fades into a lighter orange, fades back into a darker orange. You have it around his eyes, and you have really dark sort of brown for the ears. Really cool mohawk here. This is made out of a little bit slightly softer plastic. Big old nose for Crash. You got the red tongue and the teeth sticking out there. Really cool stuff. You got the sort of rope tied for the pants. You got nice vibrant blue pants, and with the brighter blue sort of like the edges. Then you have like his knees that are sculpted. Those are sculpted and painted as well, even though they're super tiny. And you have his really cool shoes, all sculpted, details and everything, really cool stuff. And you got peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So pretty damn good paint and sculpt work. It looks exactly like Crash, especially from the Insane trilogy. Alright, so let's take a look at articulation. He has sort of a, I believe it's a peg going into the head, and maybe, I believe it's not just the peg, or it's either a peg or it has a lot of, there might be some sort of hinge in there. I'm not exactly sure because it's really funky. Oh, okay. So actually, he does have a double ball peg for the head. I've never done this actually, and it has a lot of room. That's what I was also thinking. It has a lot of room to move around. It's not constricted by a whole lot. And then he has the peg in there. So when we pop that, let's see, pop that back on. He can move his head back, or he can look up about this much, which is a lot. And then he can move his head down. Not a whole lot, but that's okay. Now, also for the head, he has eyebrow articulation, which is really weird, but it's really cool. He also has a double ball peg, a way smaller double ball peg for the eyebrows, so those move in there, and then they move in the actual eyebrow. So it allows him to do a lot of different expressions and to show off a lot of different emotions without having to have interchangeable faces. So you can have like a more neutral, or more determined or mad Crash. You have a way more neutral Crash. You have like a worried Crash. It's really cool the different things you could do with this guy, honestly, with those eyebrows. You do something fun. You could switch the eyebrows and get like a really, really freaking pissed off Crash. It looks pretty scary like that, but anyway, a lot of fun stuff you can do with the eyebrow articulation. Really dope stuff, really neat. I really dig that, honestly. Instead of giving him like different faces, they just gave him the articulated eyebrows, and that's really, really neat. Never seen that on a figure ever. The shoulder joints, they allow him to move out this much, and then they swivel full 360. Slightly hindered by the ears, I guess, but it's barely even, to be honest. If you switch his head around, full rotation there. He has a elbow hinge that allows him about 90 degrees or so, maybe a tiny bit less, and they swivel there, so it sort of accommodates for no bicep swivel there. Swivel at the wrist and a hinge at the wrist as well. Double ball peg for the abdomen allows him to crunch forward this much and crunch back about this much, not too bad. His legs are on just standard pegs, and so they allow him to kick forward about this much and kick out about that much. So it could have been done a little better because I feel like they fall off a little bit easily, but it's not too bad. The knees are able to bend this much with the single hinge, and they swivel actually in there as well. And yeah, so no shoe swivel in there, but he has the knee swivel in there, and he has an ankle joint that allows him to bend it this much back and not a whole lot forward, and it allows him for a tiny bit of ankle rocker. So unfortunately, Crash does not come with any accessories. He does have the eyebrow articulation, which is a nice touch, but he does not have any accessories. Besides that, no Wumpa Fruit or anything, except for something hidden in the box. It is a paper fold-up crate, so you can at least have just the one crate. It's pretty damn big. I don't know if they're this big in the game, but hey, it's something. They added it in just cause. They're gonna probably make some more Crash Bandicoots with different, different accessories and whatnot. Maybe it would have been nice to at least give him like a couple Wumpa Fruit, like give him like 2 or 3 Wumpa Fruit as well, just to put in the box or something, just for having to hold. But I understand why. It is a $20 figure, more or less, so it makes sense. It's just a standard Crash Bandicoot release, although it would have been nice to have a couple more things. But besides that, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I highly recommend this figure if you're into Crash Bandicoot, you like the character, the games, whatever. such a neat piece, really expressive, very colorful and vibrant. It'll pop on your shelf or wherever, on your desk or whatever that you're going to display him on. Definitely an eye catcher right off the bat. Super fun figure. I definitely recommend it, especially for the price of about 20 to 25 at most dollars. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will catch you in the next video.